Remember that? Things that you're liable to read in the Bible, it ain't necessarily so. It's not full yet, is it?
Mead, we can't fit one more person in this theater thanks to you. Thank you very much. Isn't that wonderful, ladies and gentlemen? We have got... I want to welcome you all here tonight. I'm Pat Schweiss, the director of this theater and the Sedona Film Festival, and it's all because of Mead. We have our biggest crowd ever since before the pandemic, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't seen this many people in here forever. It's so nice to be around other humans, isn't it? And thank God you're not virtual.
Ooh, I like
He's
that.
a lot better looking in person, isn't he? Oh, we're so glad to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. The staff and I have just been in awe because it looks like the world's largest block party has just assembled. How many of you are from Aspen or Crested Butte or something that you know? There, okay, gotcha. Yep, there we go. It's brilliant. Locals, let's give them a nice welcome. Thank you very, very much for coming and spending time in our city with this wonderful man and his beautiful wife, Diane. As many of you know, we had his 88th birthday show scheduled in April 2 years ago, and COVID had other plans. And Mead said, I promise you, I'm coming back to celebrate more. And he lived that long, and he lived up to the promise. So remember, Mead, George Burns was going to do the Palladium, of course, when he turned 100. So I expect you to do the Mary D. Fisher Theater in 10 more years when you turn 100 years old. You got to put that carrot out for him, don't you? You do, don't you? We couldn't be more proud to have him here tonight and Diane. They are beautiful, beautiful people. You all know because you've known them for so many years. They've been a beautiful addition to our Sedona community, and most importantly to me, to our film festival family. And many of you may not realize this tonight. He's not one to boast. But this lovely man is donating 100% of your ticket sales to our theater and our festival tonight. And I tried to pay him. I did. I tried to pay him. But he has agreed to do that. We appreciate that very, very much. Hard to believe it was 65 years ago you opened the Crystal Palace, 1957. Can you believe it? 65 years. Yeah. And what a legacy. I'm sorry he had to downsize performing tonight. I bet all of you walked in and thought, what an ugly building. Is there a theater in there? Isn't it great? I always tell people that haven't been here, just look for the ugliest building in Sedona, you'll find the cutest little theater inside. I tried to bring one of your 9-foot crystal chandeliers in, but it would have eaten up the whole stage and you would not have been able to perform, Mead. So, but we are so glad to have you here. And I'm going to let this go on to the 90-year-old birthday boy tonight. We couldn't be happier than celebrating with us here in Sedona with all of you, all of his dear and treasured friends that Mead and Diane have been talking about for so long. You're in for such a treat tonight. I can't wait to experience it with you. Thank you all for joining us. Give it up for the birthday boy, 90-year-old Mead Metcalf.
Am I on? Okay. Joni and I were in Acapulco one year, and we got kind of nervous and thought about flying over on Aeromexico to Jamaica. So we did. We spent about 4 or 5 days in Montego Bay on the north side of Jamaica. And then we decided to go to Trinidad. Well, here's a song from Trinidad that we found on that trip. That was a long time ago, wasn't it? Since then, of course, I had a single-engine plane, and I flew down to the Caribbean quite a few years. Becky can attain to that. She can tell you all about it. Becky Barabee and Jean Barabee were my chef at that time, Jean, and we all know about the Caribbean. Here we go. Woe is me, shame and scandal in the family. Woe is me, shame and scandal in the family. In Trinidad there was a family in much confusion, as you will see. It was a mama and a papa and a boy who was grown, who wanted to marry, have a wife of his own. He found a young girl who suited him nice. He went to his papa to ask his advice. His papa said, "Son, I have to say no. That girl is your sister, but your mama don't know. Woe is me, shame and scandal in the family. Woe is me, shame and scandal in the family." He went to his mama, who covered his head. He told his mama what his papa had said. His mama, she laughed. She said, "Go, man, go. That guy's not your daddy, but your daddy don't know. Woe is me, shame and scandal in the family." This was a song that was sung by Mark Sr. back in the 70s. He was going to law school in LA after he left Aspen. And I had not seen him for 55 years, and suddenly we had a big reunion in Hermosa Beach. That's pretty close to LAX airport, by the way. And there was Mark Sr. He didn't come tonight, though, I don't think. No. This is one of his famous songs. I've got lust in my heart, and you're the one for whom I've lusted. I'm about to bust in my heart, for I know I can't be trusted. I'll turn to dust in my heart. This dust will never be. I think I mustn't lust in my heart, lest this lust get the better of me. I have this list in my heart of all the ones for whom I've lusted. All those I've kissed in my heart. If they but knew, they'd be disgusted. I'll turn to yet I insist in my heart that I was twisted in ecstasy. I think all the love for my list isn't lusting for me. I hate this lust in my heart. Oh, how I try to douse the fire. A knife you thrust in my heart still couldn't cure me of desire. Can I adjust in my heart, immediately leave this lust behind? Although I'm doing my lust list, doing my lust list, lost starts affecting my mind. And on my lust list, I've got Barbara Walters. And on my lust list, I've got Barbara Howard. And on my lust list, I've got Barbara Streisand. And on my lust list, I've got Betty White. Two ribbons sliced in my heart. Somehow it makes me feel so caddish. Chopped and diced in my heart. I feel just like a piece of radish. My blood should be iced in my heart. This lousy lust will never do. I think I'll keep this lust till I bust, for the last on my lust list is you and you and you. Now, this is a song that Sharon Pfaff did back in the 70s. She's still out on the big island of Hawaii. Donna Dyer knows her very well. And I think Donna's here, aren't you? Yeah. Okay, this is one of hers that I like very much. And I rewrote it so it's a man's song now. Huh? The first day after Christmas, my true love and I had a fight. And so I chopped the pear tree down and burned it just for spite. And with a single cartridge, I shot that blasted partridge. My true love gave to me. The 6th day after Christmas, I put on some old rubber gloves and very gently wrung the necks of those two turtle doves. My true love gave to me. The 3rd day after Christmas, my mother caught the croup. I'd had to take the 3 French hens and make some chicken soup. The 4 mockingbirds were a big mistake. Their language was obscene. The 5 gold rings were really fake, for they turned my fingers green. The 6th day after Christmas, the 6 laying geese wouldn't lay. I took the whole darn gaggle to the ASPCA. The 7th day, what a mess I found. All 7 of the swimming swans had drowned. My true love gave to me. The 8th day after Christmas, before they could suspect, I bundled up the 8 maids are milking, 9 pipers piping, 10 ladies dancing, 11 lords are leaping, 12 drummers drumming. Well, I took home one of the dancing ladies and sent them back collect. My true love, as I told her in so many words. My dear, your Christmas gifts were for the birds. 4 mockingbirds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a dead partridge in a smoldering pear tree. Well, that's a rewrite of a song that came from probably the 1600s in Britain. The first day before Christmas and the second day before Christmas. And Fred Silver rewrote it. He was very funny. He came out to see us one time in Aspen. Fred Silver was gay, and he wrote a fabulous show called In Gay Company, which I have seen, and I have the LP record for. If you have to know about it, you'd like it, because we did, well, Fairy in the Firehouse. We think we found a faggot on the force. It's, that's gay bottom the whole time. Then he did one that Mark Sr. did called Being a Cop Can Be a Drag. On the album, it's called Decoy Cop, but you understand. It was very famous. He came out to see us, and he was quite amazing. Okay, we're going to do 4 numbers from Follies. That's Stephen Sondheim's, one of his most famous shows. Well, Company was pretty good. Follies was even better. And the first one up is going to be Kathy Pulowski. And you're here standing, wait for me.
Or
get a hug? This is another famous one from Follies. The lyric will tell you exactly what the title it is. Leave you, how could I leave you? How could I go it alone? Could I wave the years away with a quick goodbye? How do you wipe tears away when your eyes are dry? Sweetheart, lover, could I recover? Bring back the joys I have known. Not to fetch your pills again every day at 5. Not to fetch those dinners for 10 elderly men from the UN. How can I survive? Leave you, how could I leave you? How could I live all alone? Putting thoughts of you aside in the south of France. Would I think of suicide? Darling, shall we dance? Could I live with my pain on a terrace in Spain? It would pass, it would pass. Could I bury my rage with a girl half your age in the grass? Bet your ass. But I've done that already. Or didn't you know, love? Tell me, how could I leave when I left long ago? Love, leave you. Now the point is, could you leave me? Well, I guess you could leave me the house, leave me the flat, leave me the Brocs and Chagalls and all that. You could leave me the stocks for sentiment's sake, and 90% of the money you make, and the rugs and the cooks. Darling, you keep the drugs, honey, you keep the books. Angel, I'll take the grand, honey, you take the spinach. And all of our friends, and just wait a goddamn minute. Leave you, how could I leave you? Sweetheart, I have to confess. Would I said, would I leave you? Yes. Could I leave you? Could I leave you? Guess. Okay, Susie Sanderson. You got your lyric to prop?
I got my props. You got the key? Oh, why, thank you. I needed a big one, huh? I needed the right one. Good times and bad times.
Wait a minute.
I knew he has to search for this one. Good times and bum times, I've seen them all, my dear. I'm still here. Plush velvet sometimes just pretzels and beer. But I'm here. I've stuffed the dailies in my shoes, strummed ukuleles, sung the blues, watched all my dreams disappear, but I'm here. I lived in shanties, guest of the YMCA, but I'm here. Slanced in my scanties, $8 a night was the pay, but I'm here. Protested Vietnam with the best, watched while the headlines did the rest. In the 70s, was I depressed? Nowhere near. I met a big financier, and I'm here. I've lived through Nixon, Bill and Lewinsky's affair, and I'm here. Beatles, backgammon, Sonny and Cher, what a pair, but I'm here. Got through Ollie's knockout blows, never missed a Rocky Horror Picture Show. Had heebie-jeebies for the Bee Gees and Richard Gere. We survived Shirley Temple, and we're here. I lived in the Trump revolt at Scaramucci. Gee, that was fun and a half. If you ever meet a guy named Scaramucci, anything else is a laugh. I've been through Aspen, I've been through Betty Ford too, but I'm here. Reefers and vodka, rescuers and sniffing that, but I'm here. Been called a hippie, wide-eyed fool, got through it stoned by the reflecting pool.
You should have gone to an acting school, that seems clear. Everyone says you're sincere.
So I'm here. Black sable one day, next day it goes into Hawk. But I'm here. Top billing Monday, Tuesday I'm touring in stock. But I'm here. Been called a hippie, wide-eyed fool, got through it stoned by the reflecting pool. Did I do that right? That seems clear. No, I repeated it. Let's go back here. Black sable one day, next day it goes into Hawk. But I'm here. Plush velvet sometimes, next day I'm touring in stock. But I'm here. First you're a really sexy vamp, then someone's mother, now I'm camp. Then you careen from career to career. Mead just finished his memoirs, he's still here.
I've gotten through, hey lady, aren't you, who's this? Wow, what a looker you were.
Or better yet, gee, I thought you were, who's it? Whatever happened to her? Good times and bum times, I've seen them all, my dear. I'm still here. Plush velvet sometimes, sometimes a kick in the rear. But I'm here. I've run the gamut, A to Z. 3 cheers and damn it, c'est la vie. I made it through the last year, and I'm here. I made it through, and I'm here. Yes, I'm here. I'm still here.
Okay, this is the 4th one from that same show, Follies. And when I did it in Aspen at the Crystal Palace, Joni would jump in and join me at the end, but it's pretty close and pretty short, by the way. Let me think, what was the name of it? I've got those, God, why don't you love me? Oh, you do, I'll see you later blues. As long as you ignore me, you're the only thing that matters. Feeling. Say you're good enough for me, you're not good enough. And thank you for the present, but what's wrong with its stuff? And don't come any closer, cause you know how much I need you. Feeling. Those God, why don't you love me? Oh, you do, I gotta run now. Blues. That's it. Okay. Judy, you're next on stage. This is Judy Shea. This is a very famous song that Sharon Pfaff once did, and it's called Love's Labor Lost, and I'll let you take the rest of it. She will tell you all about what she's facing.
Bought me a pill in Wilmington. I downed it with Delaware punch. We drove through the Jersey Turnpike, and I had a pill for lunch. For we were on our honeymoon. I could see his blushing glances. Yes, we were on our honeymoon, and he wasn't taking any chances. me a pill in New Rochelle as day turned into night. But when we arrived in Darien, there wasn't a pill in sight. For we were in Connecticut, and there were no pills to order. So we hurried through Connecticut and on to the Massachusetts border. We stopped for a country dinner in the lovely Berkshire Hills. I finished it off with a cognac and 7 or 8 more pills. My, what a lovely husband he, and oh, what a wedding eve, and oh, what a lovely honeymoon, my dear, you cannot conceive. It's a love that comes to few of us. I'm the whole world in his eyes. He's so glad it's just the two of us. He's in for a little surprise.
Oh, more lipstick, huh? All right. That was written by Michael McWhinney in New York, and he also wrote this one that I think I should do for you because you've heard it if you live in Sedona. I've done it several times. Last December 31st, my dad retired after years of service as a postal clerk. They threw in a window our watch and Mom inquired, "What's your father gonna do without his work?" "Buy a trailer," said my dad. "It's my intention to retire to the land of sand and sun. We get $67 a month in pension. Mom and me, we're gonna have ourselves some fun." So they settled at a trailer court in Florida, way below the Georgia border. There are values galore that the trailer camps are giving, and Ulsters adore the community of living. This quiet in store at the Happy Hunting Trail Trailer Court down in downtown Fort Lauderdale. Lottie-dottie-dottie-dottie-dottie Lauderdale. Lottie-dottie-dottie-dottie-dottie Lauderdale. There are free septic tanks, a bingo game each Monday. The Ulsters give thanks that every day is Sunday. 19 savings banks, just as safe as any jail, flank the court down in downtown Fort Lauderdale. There's a Baptist church round every corner and a place to sit neath every palm. There's a croquet court between the trailers. It's a perfect place for Dad and Mom. There are mineral springs and the comfort station's tidy. Community sings and a funeral each Friday. Security clings at the Happy Hunting Trail Trailer Court down in downtown Fort Lauderdale. Mom and Dad were seeking total relaxation, and they found it at the Happy Hunting Trail. Then the colleges let out for spring vacation and descended on Fort Lauderdale. Got a letter from my mother only yesterday. Mother writes of her sweet sequestered day. There are new folks next door, and they're entertaining daily. She's from Skidmore, the gentleman's a Yaley. There's racket and roar at the Happy Hunting Trail Trailer Court down in downtown Fort Lauderdale. Lottie-dottie-dottie-dottie-dottie Lauderdale. Sometimes there's a fight. They have to call the cops in, carousing all night. This bubble dancer drops in, they turn out the lights, and they entertain by braille. Brand new sport in Fort Lauderdale. Well, we stopped next door, and in the blindness, your father wandered through the horde as he drank the milk of human kindness, plus some Smirnoff vodka from a gourd. Well, we thought we won today in the shuffleboard mixed doubles. Your daddy's run away with the lady with the bubbles, and I've gone astray with a Zeta Psi from Yale. Wish you were here, but glad you were there. Signed your ever-loving mama, sealed with a kiss from Lottie-dottie-dottie-dottie-dottie-dale. Last week, Chris and I had a break-in. We were shaken, we were stirred. Some expensive possessions were taken, but one item seemed slightly absurd. In an urn I described as Jamaican. Well, I think that they bought it in Prague. The point is, if I'm not mistaken, it held the remains of our dog. Shirley, Shirley, cuddly and cute and curly. We think that the thief was entirely insane. Then we were told he was after cocaine. The truth is the fella was foraging for a drug of Colombian origin. Somebody snorting Shirley. Someone without any brains will assume that her stash is where we kept her ashes, and Shirley still Shirley's remains. She got the best send if our money allows her, and now some sinus will save her our schnauzer. Shirley passed on too early. It's sad when a loved one departs. She belonged in a vase and got sniffed up some schnoz, but she'll always remain in our hearts. Somebody snorting Shirley, someone decidedly strange, will shortly aspire to get himself higher, and all that he'll get is the mange. Her mortal remains seem so safe where we kept them. She's resting in peace now inside someone's septum. Shirley passed on too early. It's sad when a loved one departs. She belonged in a vase and got sniffed up some schnoz, but she'll always remain in our hearts. Somebody snorting Shirley, someone who thought he'd get rich, will peddle our puppy in hopes that some yuppie will tell him his blow is a bitch. We loved her yelps and her jumps and her wheezes. My eyes seem to well up when anyone sneezes. Up where the gates up early, she'll view this bizarre epilogue. It's enough to relate. Shirley suffered a fate that I never would wish on a dog. Oh, honey, can you tell me what comes next? Sex education with Susie. You ready, Susie? This is one of those songs Joni sang. It was famous. Wow.
Do I look like a school teacher? You know, doing a song that Joni Metcalf did is challenging, but I hope I can do it justice. Let's just try it that way. I taught in Sedona public schools since 1964. But Shakespeare and Shelley and Whitman and Poe all made my life a bore, till the Board of Education made a shocking innovation. The blessed saints preserved me. It certainly did unnerve me. My blood pressure zoomed from low to high. My curriculum changed, and so did I. Imagine me at school each day, flushed with pride when children say, she teaches sex education. I can't wait to hear the bell. Today we're having show and tell. It's part of sex education. I read from the Happy Hooker and Fanny Hill. Oh, how did we ever get along before the pill? Discipline, our field trip day was such a hoot. We went to a house of ill repute. I love that sex education. Discipline is my golden rule. The naughty boys stay after school to get some sex education. I say to them, oh, love and be free, and you can experiment on me. It's all for sex education. Although my unit on perversion was really a flop, the principal walked in and he called the cop. My teaching schedule is very tight, but I private tutor most any night. I give special attention to those slower pupils. Lose your inhibitions, students. No more scruples. I'll show those youngsters what it's all about. Then I'll write on their diplomas, let it all hang out. 'Cause sex educating is so titillating for a broad like me. You're a naughty boy.
So we're doing Joni's songs now, and this is one that I think is very important that you know. Joni was quite a diva, quite a performer. And these were marvelous songs that she made quite famous in her time. She's passed and left us now, but that was quite a woman, I must say. This is called Club Mediterranee, and you all know what Club Med means. It's a resort in the Caribbean and also down in Tahiti. There's several of them down there. This is called Club Mediterranee. Are you ready? I'm going to do it. Now, just imagine I'm going to be Joni, all right? Club Mediterranee, where I lost my virtue. Don't ever believe that what you don't know won't hurt you. Romantic nights filled with tropic delights were my down call, as I recall. Club Mediterranee, where singles vacation and cohabitate without the least hesitation. That's where they troop down to old Guadeloupe, where they can stay at Club Mediterranee. I learned to scuba. I did a side trip to Aruba. I love the sailing, the swimming, the palms. A boy named Russell taught me how to do the hustle. I love the muscle I felt on his arms. Club Mediterranee, one moment of glory. And that was the start, also the end of my story. When next I saw Russ, he was catching the bus and calling it quits. And I think it's the pits. Club Mediterranee, in some spot secluded, with 3 gourmet meals, free wine and plain fare included. Don't ask for me, look for me at Club Mediterranee. Nee. I'm home in Frisco, missing the scuba and the disco, with some senora. He's at the club in Bora Bora, dancing the hora, enjoying the fun. Club Mediterranee is not Portofino, and my souvenirs included bouncing Bambino. I named the baby boy Gus, for it rhymed with Russ. May God strike me dead if I ever go back to Club Med. Thank you for helping me. I can't read this very well. You don't need me anymore. You don't need me anymore. When we're making love, you grind your teeth and snore. The last time we made love was '84. You don't need me anymore. You don't need me anymore. I found that blow-up doll you keep inside a drawer, and some leather thing that's bound to make you sore. You don't need me anymore. There are sudden indications that our love is growing lean, like the time you glued my lips and nostrils shut. You served me a martini made with gin and Mr. Clean. You sicked your vicious pit bull on my butt. You don't need me anymore. I needed CPR. You used a 2x4. As I left to slam my fingers in the door, I guess I know the score. Our relationship is run down, so darling, put the gun down. People grow apart, dear. Take that dagger from my heart, dear. And when I die, you'll shout, encore. You don't love me anymore. Susie, you ready?
Yeah.
I'm working her a lot tonight. Isn't she?
We added this song 2 hours ago. So here we go. Low key. I couldn't make a dime with Avon. My Tupperware party was a bust. My Sarah Coventry jewel returned to tarnish and rust. Well, so long to dear old Avon. Au revoir to the Fuller Brush. I'll never take another magazine subscription unless it's to one that'll make you blush. 'Cause ding dong, it's me at your door, the neighborhood porno lady. Which key are we going to go to? Pick a key.
The neighborhood porno
Lady, I've got a bag of goodies here to fill your home with warmth and cheer. Stag films, dirty postcards, whatever your favorite vice is. Filthy books and a brand new line of battery-operated devices. Ding dong, the porno lady. No need to sneak to the peekaboo store, 'cause I bring erotica to your door. Don't be shy. My case is loaded with trash to try. I hope you'll find my selection ample, or maybe you'd like just a little free sample. Ding dong, yoo-hoo, ding dong, it's me at your door, the neighborhood porno lady. I left a catalog here last week. Did you manage to take a peek? Lotions and orgy creams for my lady who's smart and thrifty. Lots with the new techniques we think will make a nifty gifty. Ding dong, the porno lady will be back in a week or two. No need to sneak to the peekaboo store, 'cause I bring erotica to your door. Have a nice day.
Okay. I'm a veteran of 27 transplants.
Yep, that's it.
What key did I put it in?
F minor.
F minor? What am I supposed to sing?
I'm a victim of 27 transplants. They've reorganized my organs one by one. Does that ring a bell?
I'm a veteran of 27 veteran of 27 transplants. They reorganized. Oh, that's too low. I'm a veteran of 27 transplants. They reorganized my organs one by one. Though I'm grateful to have had these second chance plants, sometimes I ask myself, what have I done? Imagine me if...
That's my song. I got my liver.
I'm a veteran of 27 transplants. They reorganized my organs one by one. Though I'm grateful to have had these second chance plants, sometimes I ask myself what I've done. I got my liver when they fished from the river, a big-time racketeer from Baltimore. I got my thyroid from a victim of typhoid, but I'm not myself anymore. I got my spleen from a guy who turned green from eating something strange in Ecuador. I got my kidney from a salesman named Arnold. No, I'm not myself anymore. I must ask my shrink about these problems that I think about. As strange as it may be, my body is rejecting me. I got my bladder from Don Miguel Cantata, who never should have been a matador. Now I see him dressed in his large intestine. No, I'm not myself anymore. I came by my cornea from a gentleman far hornier. Now, although my eyes are shut, all I see is filth and smut. My heart was pried from a midget who died from his unrequited love named Eleanor. Now I see the danger. I love a total stranger who stands exactly 3 feet 4. No, I'm not myself anymore. This is another old one. Since I reached the age of 73, I'm not liking what I see. I take a look around and recently I found the world's not like it used to be. I'm trying hard to age with grace, but often it is not the case. For I notice something weird about the types I once revered, but the facts I've got to face. My lawyer's younger than me. Into her waiting room I am shown, then browse through old copies of Rolling Stone. It's not like it used to be. My shrink is younger than me. As my aggressions I'm taking out, I notice his face is breaking out. It's not like it used to be. I always shudder and shake as the pro football season approaches. Young players I guess I can take. What hurts is all those baby-faced coaches. My pastor's younger than me, and I confess it distresses me whenever that little fart blesses me. It's not like it used to be. I'm scarcely able to believe the feat some of these kids achieve. I keep on wondering, why have they done twice as much as I have? I marvel, I reflect, I grieve. I got distressed the other day when I saw an opera by Bizet. I went into a rage when I realized by my age he had prematurely passed away. My congressman's younger than me. His squeaky voice speaks with authority. He's even acquired seniority. It's not like it used to be. My wife's a lot younger than me. She's really kicked on the disco scene. The problem is I'm pooped by 9:15. It's not like it used to be. And anchors on network news should not be trendy and young. That's the place for mature views. Look how CBS dumped Connie Chung. Every day it gets worse. My new situation is really bad. I'm 3 years older than my stepdad. To put it more grammatically, why is everybody so much younger than I? Where are we? What's next? What's next?
Next, Noel Coward.
Okay.
Mad Dog.
You will love these songs. This is Noel Coward, and Joni and I sang him at the Desert Inn in Las Vegas. And of course, I bought the LP record at the time. This is Uncle Harry. It starts. Poor Uncle Harry wanted to be a missionary, so he took a ship and sailed away. This visionary, hotly pursued by dear Aunt Mary, found a South Sea island on which to stay. The natives greeted them kindly and invited them to dine on yams and hams and human hands and vintage coconut wine, the taste of which was filthy, but the after effects divine. Poor Uncle Harry got to be gay and long to tarry. This Aunt Mary couldn't quite allow. She lectured him quite severely on a number of church affairs, But when she went to bed, he made his getaway down the stairs, for he longed to find an answer to a few of the maiden's prayers. Uncle Harry's not the missionary now. No, Uncle was just a seeker, dreaming sincerely breast of this. There couldn't be a shadow of doubt. The fact that his flesh was weaker than even Aunt Mary guessed took even her some time to figure out. In all those languid latitudes, the atmosphere's exotic. To take up moral attitudes would be too idiotic. Though nobody could be meeker than Uncle had been before, I bet today he's giving way at practically every pore. Poor Uncle Harry, having become a missionary, found the natives' morals rather crude. This a visionary, hotly pursued by dear Aunt Mary. After dear Aunt Mary swam in the nude, the natives greeted them, invited them to dine. Oh, yeah, no, I did that. Oh, listen, hotly pursued by dear Aunt Mary, found the natives' royal rather crude. He and dear Aunt Mary swiftly imposed an arbitrary ban upon them shopping in the nude. They all considered this silly, and they didn't take it well. They burned his boots and several suits and wrecked the mission hotel. They also burned his Macintosh, which made a disgusting smell. Poor Uncle, sweet old Aunt Mary, though it was revolutionary, thought her time had come to take a bow. Uncle Harry looked at her, in whom he had placed his trust. His very last illusion broke and crumbled away to dust, for she placed a flower behind her ear and frankly exposed her bust. Uncle Harry's not the missionary now. He's left the island, but he's certainly not the missionary now. Senorita Nina from Argentina knew all the answers, although her relatives and friends were perfect dancers. She swore she'd never dance a step until she died. She said, I've seen too many movies, and all they prove is too idiotic. They all insisted South America's exotic, whereas it couldn't be more boring if it tried. Yet in frankly that she stated, the hound of soft with cars beside a still lagoon. She positively stated she could not abide a southern moon. She said, I hate to be pedantic, but it drives me nearly frantic when I see that unromantic, sycophantic lot of sluts forever rigging in their butts. It drives me absolutely nuts. She declined to begin the begin when they besought her to, and in language profane and obscene, she cursed the man who taught her to. She cursed Cole Porter too. From this it's fairly clear that Nina and her demeanor grew so offensive that when the hatred of her friends grew too intensive, she thought she'd better beat it while she had the chance. After some trial and tribulation, she reached the station and met a sailor who had acquired a wooden leg in Venezuela, and so she married him because he couldn't dance. There surely never could have been a more irritating girl than Nina. They never speak in Argentina of the degenerate Bambina who had the luck to find romance and resolutely wouldn't dance. She wouldn't dance. Mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday sun. The Japanese don't care to, Chinese wouldn't dare to. Hindus and Argentines sleep firmly from 12 to 1, but Englishmen detest a siesta. In the Philippines, they have lovely screens to protect you from the glare. In the Malay states, there are hats like plates, which the Britishers won't wear. At 12 noon, the natives swoon and know for the work is done. For mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday sun. The smallest Malay rabbit deplores this foolish habit. In Hong Kong, they strike a gong and fire the midday gun to reprimand each inmate who's inmate. In the jungle town where the sun beats down to the rage of man and beast, the English gob of the English sob simply gets a bit more creased. But at Bangkok at 12 o'clock they foam at the mouth and run. For mad dogs and Englishmen go out in midday sun. The toughest Burmese bandit can never understand it. At Rangoon, the heat of noon is dust with the natives shun. They put their Scotch or rye down and lie down. In a jungle town where the sun beats down to the rage of man and beast, the English gob, I did that. In the mangrove swamps the python romps, there's peace from 12 to 2. Even caribous lie around or snooze, for there's nothing else to do. But in Bengal to move it all is seldom if ever done. But mad dogs and Englishmen go out in midday, out in midday, out in midday sun. We've been adding things to this so we get longer. We don't want to be out on here until about 8:15 or so. It's 10 minutes to 8.
We're not done.
Spring is here, spring is here. Life is Skittles and life is beer. I think the loveliest time of the year is the spring. I do, don't you? Of course you do. But there's one thing that makes life complete for me and makes every Sunday a treat for me. All the world seems in tune on a spring afternoon when we're poisoning pigeons in the park. Every Sunday you'll see my sweetheart and me as we poison the pigeons in the park. When they see us coming, the birdies all try and hide, but they go for peanuts when coated with cyanide. The sun's shining bright, everything seems all right when we're poisoning pigeons in the park. La 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 la. We've gained notoriety and caused much anxiety in the Audubon Society with our games. They call it impiety and lack of propriety and quite a variety of unpleasant names. But it's not against any religion to want to dispose of a pigeon. So if someday you see my sweetheart and me as we poison the pigeons in the park, and maybe we'll do in a squirrel or two as we poison the pigeons in the park, we'll murder them all amid laughter and merriment, except for the ones we take home to experiment. My pulse will be quickening with each drop of strychnine we feed to a pigeon. It just takes a smidgen to poison the pigeons in the park. Now, the little tale to tell you of my woe is me, shame and scandal in the family. I was doing Vatican Rag by Tom Lehrer. It was the summer of 1984. It was still bright outside, you know, it stays light in early summer to about 9 o'clock. And a Catholic guy walked up and threw a beer in my face. Well, talk about a bedlam, it was melee. John Vanderveer was sitting in the front row. He was an old football player from college. He tackled the guy. It was a real melee in the Crystal Palace. And the guy squirmed, ran out the front door laughing the whole way. Now, don't throw anything at me tonight, please. We're not done yet. First you get down on your knees, fiddle with your rosaries, bow your head with great respect and genuflect, genuflect, you whatever steps you want. If you, don't get down on your knees, fiddle with your rosaries, bow your head with great respect and genuflect, genuflect, do whatever steps you want. If you have cleared them with the pontiff, everybody say his own Kyrie eleison, doing the Vatican rag. Get in line in that processional, step into that small confessional. They're the guy who's got religional, Tell you if your sin's original. If it is, try playing it safer. Drink the wine and chew the wafer. 2, 4, 6, 8 times to transubstantiate. So get down upon your knees, fiddle with your rosaries, bow your head with great respect and genuflect, genuflect, genuflect. Cross yourself on your abdomen. When in Rome, do like a Roman. Ave Maria, geez, good to see you. Getting ecstatic and sort of dramatic, doing the Vatican rag. Now, it's very important that you know Tom Lehrer was Jewish, and he has this song. You'll love it. I'm spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica, wearing sandals, lighting candles by the sea. I've spent Shavuos in East St. Louis, a charming spot, but clearly not the spot for me. Those eastern winters, I can't endure 'em, so every year I pack my gear and go out west to Purim. Rosh Hashanah, I spend in Arizona, and Yom Kippur, way down in Mississippi. But in December, there's just one place for me. Amid the California flora, I'll be lighting my menorah. Like a baby in its cradle, I'll be playing with my dreidel. Here's to Judas Maccabeus, boy, if he could only see us spending Hanukkah in Santa Monica by the sea. Be prepared. That's the Boy Scouts marching song. Be prepared. As through life you'll march along. Be prepared to hold your liquor pretty well. Don't write naughty words on walls if you can't spell. Be prepared to hide that pack of cigarettes. Don't make book if you cannot cover bets. Keep those reefers hidden where you're sure that they will not be found. Be careful not to smoke them when that scoutmaster's around, for he only will insist that they be shared. Be prepared. Be prepared. That's the Boy Scout's solemn creed. Be prepared. And be clean in word and deed. Don't solicit for your sister, that's not nice, unless you get a good percentage of her price. Be prepared and be careful not to do your good deeds when there's no one watching you. If you're looking for adventure of a new and different kind, you run across a Girl Scout who is similarly inclined. Don't be nervous, don't be flustered, don't be scared. Be prepared. How does that other one start? No. There's another one that follows that. Well, it says here. Well, we'll find that later. Okay. Some of you who worked at the Crystal Palace certainly know how I always entered. Well, I finished the show with these two encores, and I think we're at that point right now. She was young, she was pure, she was new, she was nice, she was fair, she was sweet, 17. He was old, he was vile, no stranger to vice. He was bad, he was base, he was mean. He had slyly inveigled her up to his flat to view his collection of stamps, all unperforated. And he said as he hastened to put out the cat, the wine, his cigar, and the lamps, "Have some Madeira, my dear. You really have nothing to fear. I'm not trying to tempt you, that wouldn't be right. You shouldn't drink spirits at this time of night. Have some Madeira, my dear. It's really ever so much nicer than beer. No, I don't care for sherry, one cannot drink stout. And poured as a wine I could well do without. It's simply a case chacun à son gout. Have some Madeira, my dear. Parlez-vous français, madame? No? Oui? And aware of the wiles of the snake in the grass, of the fate of the maiden who topes, she lowered her standards by raising her glass, her courage, her eyes, and his hopes. She sipped it, she drank it, she drained it, she did, and he quietly revealed it again. And he said as he secretly carved one more notch on the butt of his gold-handled cane, have some Madeira, my dear. I've got a small cask of it here. And once it's been opened, you know it won't keep. Do finish it up, it will help you to sleep. Have some Madeira, my dear. It's really an excellent year. Now, if it were gin, you'd be wrong to say yes. The evil gin does would be hard to assess. And besides, it's inclined to affect me prowess. Have some Madeira, my dear. And there flashed through her mind what her mother had said with antepenultimate breath. Oh, my child, should you look on the wine when 'tis red, be prepared for a fate worse than death. She let go her glass with a shrill little cry. Crushed and fell to the floor. When he asked what in heaven, she made no reply. Upon her mind was a rush to the door. Have some Madeira, my dear, rang out down the hall loud and clear. A tremulous ride that was filled with despair as she fought to take breath in the cool midnight air. Have some Madeira, my dear. The words seemed to ring in her ear. Until the next morning she woke up in bed with a smile on her lips and an ache in her head and a beard in her ear that tickled and said, have some Madeira, my dear. Ha, ha, ha. Let me set things straight from the old tip-top so that you know where we stand. I'm a very big man in a very big firm with an awful lot of power in my hand. I run my ship with a good tight grip and I played at every game worth winning. Then this goddamn thing comes along and bing! But I guess I better start at the beginning. It was just a day like a normal day. In fact, I felt real swell. I'd firmed a deal with another big wheel and the meeting of the board went well. At 6:15 I went home to Jean. She met me with a nice cool gin. And she looked real odd and said, oh my God, there's a lump of peanut butter on your chin. Well, we figured it out, it had been that way from the time I went into work that day. And I'd wheeled and dealed and spieled all day with a lump of peanut butter on my chin. Well, I stayed at home for a day or two just to let things simmer down. Then I figured out what a jerk I'd been and I hurried to get back downtown. Not a word was said and I forged ahead till my right-hand man came in. There he stood with a face like wood and a lump of peanut butter on his chin. Well, Gene, I had a good long laugh when I got back home that night. Funny thing what a guy can do just 'cause everybody thinks he's right. And I was laughing still on my way to work, but I stopped when I walked in, 'cause every jerk from the chairman to the clerk had a lump of peanut butter on his chin. Not one bare chin in the whole damn group. They looked at me as I stumbled through, and every look said, why don't you have a lump of peanut butter on your chin? For the longest day in my whole career, I sat in my lonely place, and every soul who came through that door had that stupid-looking substance on his face. At last I knew what I had to do, and I locked the door securely from within, and with these same hands that had forged new lands, I put a lump of peanut butter on my chin. Now competitors heard wouldn't as competitors will. Before the day was through, all the big execs had their big brown specs, and the chairman of the board had too. It hit the crowd like a mushroom cloud. The populace was all pulled in, and they each confessed that they felt undressed without a lump of peanut butter on their chin. Well, I have to say, within my soul, you've got to know the truth. This whole well, you know the rest of the sordid mess, the unprecedented list of facts of the skippy jars and the beauty bars with additional cosmetics tack. The songs they played and the laws they made were an officer can haul you in if you show your face in a public place without a lump of peanut butter on your chin. Well, I have to speak from within my soul. You've got to know the truth. This whole affair is a big, ungodly, rotten, misbegotten goof. And I don't care who you've spoken to or where in the world you've been. On my bended knees, I must beg you, please, don't put a lump of peanut butter on your chin. Thank you. I think I've used them all. They're all gone. Ping pong?
Yeah, right here.
Oh, David, thank you.
Oh, did you want to do ping pong?
What did you do? Oh,
It's a surprise.
Oh, no, it's a surprise. Just sit right down near me.
Sit down.
sit down.
Sit
Oh,
down. You're rocking up.
well, what are you gonna do?
Well, Mead has been singing for us all night.
Yeah.
I think it's time that we sing for him.
Let's do ping pong. In key of C. What? I'm supposed to have a ping pong paddle in my hand. My mama said, practice your ping pong, ping pong, ping. Someday you may get to Beijing, pong, ping pong, ping. And someday a few years from now, pow, when I'm dining with Chairman Mao, pow, then you'll see the pendulum swing. Just think of the changes I'll bring, because I'll be singing my song, pong, ping, pong, ping. So what if your son is a hippie? He's gotta be smarter than you. 'Cause Mom, you can bet your sweet bippy, you'll never have dinner with Chew. Quotations from Mao Zedong, pong, ping, pong, ping. Were right on the tip of my tongue, pong, ping, pong, ping. The Mandarin duck was delish, swish. The Mandarin fish, what a dish, swish. I think that the China was Ming, ping. This cat got a look at a king, ping. While sipping my lapsang souchong, pong, ping, pong, ping. So, Mama, I'm perfectly certain that you should be stricken with awe. I parted that old bamboo curtain and started the big power thaw. So what if my hair is so long? Pong, ping, pong, ping. But my dedication is strong. Pong, ping, pong, ping. And someday, few years from now, pow, when I'm dining with Chairman Mao, pow, then you'll see the pendulum swing. Ping, just think of the changes I'll bring. Ping, because I'll be singing my song. Pong, ping, pong, ping.
Thanks for
The girl boys in their bow ties, the girls showing their thighs, the barroom glass, the cabaret so wise. We thank you so much.
Thanks for the memories, the sparkling chandeliers, cleaning them with peers, the Tiffany's, the fantasies, the laughter with the tears. How fabulous it was.
Thanks for the memories, Madonna's bustier, firemen who were gay, old farts on wheels, Diane Fergie in heels, all satire of the day. How topical it was. Thanks for the memories, a peanut butter on chins, the skiing up at Gwynn's. We loved our wine, we got to dine and have our fill of gins. How lovely it was.
Thanks for the memories. Waiters went to lands for dishes, desserts, ands. Avos, salads, humming ballads, first console in hand. How frantic it was. That was Jeannie. Thanks for the memories. The guys before the show sang "Now It's Time to Go." The loos were named for natives, famed Horace and Baby Doe. How clever it was.
Thanks for the memories, Model Ts inside, displayed with rightful pride. On July 4th, we all went forth. Mead took us for a ride. How fancy it was.
Thanks for the memories. I'm sure you would agree. We never sang off key. Leslie's tunes and Rick's lampoons, laughing till we'd pee. How happy we were.
Thanks for the memories, from peanut butter on the chin to rafting with Fred Silver, when 3 girls bared breasts for all to see. Don't be anything less than you can be. We thank you so much. That we met you, Gio and Lou. And thank you so
David, that's so great. Thank you. David, who wrote that? Who wrote that lyric?
Each person who sang wrote their.
Kathy wrote it.
Oh, and Meredith wrote the verses too. But yeah, Meredith and I. Oh, and Val wrote it.
Everybody wrote it.
I think we might be able to bring up the house lights now. Good. Do all these people know where they're going?
Yes. Oh, no, I
Thank
just,
you for coming.
yes. Well, Mead, would you like to say?
Well, go ahead.
We're so grateful for each and every one of you who have come so far, and this has been such a joyous occasion. Happy birthday, Mead Metcalf. It's, our hearts are full, overflowing, and you are our family. We love you so much. We'll see you soon, I hope, right? Namaste. Namaste.
Are these presents down here?
Yes, those are flowers from,
Oh my lord.
goodness, from Judy. And
Oh my.
yes, aren't they gorgeous?
Oh my god. Judy here?
Yeah. No, Judy from Judy's. Judy
Oh, Judy
Schechter.
Schechter
Judy and Robert.
and Robert.
Yes, thank you both.
Are they here
Thank
tonight?
you so much. They're right back there. It's very hard to see.
Judy Schechter and Robert are back there?
Yes, they are.
Well, thank you so much.
No, those are very bright lights.
They're gorgeous.
Bright lights? Turn on red lights.
Oh, the house lights have come on. Good. Thank you, Judy.
Thank you all. I'm going to help you come down.
There we go. We can do that. There you go.
Yeah.